Hi everybody, in this video we're going to look at making a bed and a bed sheet in Blender. Shift A, let's create a cube. I'm going to scale this cube down so that it looks something like a mattress shape. Something like this. And I'm going to take this mattress, or this cube, to edit mode. And in edit mode, what I'm going to do is select the whole thing. So if you're not selected on it, I can press A, and I'm going to right click and subdivide right here. And I'm going to right click again and subdivide. And what that's doing is it's creating some more polygons and faces so that when I smooth this, it doesn't kind of boil down to a rounded shape. It's going to hold its shape a bit, having these extra faces. And that was just by right clicking. I'm going to come back to object mode now, and I know that it's hard to see, but those divisions are there. If you do want to see them all the time, you could come up to, I believe right over here, there is, let me see, maybe it's, yep, so this drop down right here, I could turn on wireframe. And if I want the opacity, because that's very dark, to see that all the time, I could drop this down again, and there is an opacity for that. And if I can do it at 0.2, now you can kind of faintly see the divisions that I've added. I think that's pretty good to do, but you don't need to do that step. All right, next we're going to come over to the modifier tab, and I'm going to click on add modifier. That's the wrench here. Add modifier. Well, I'm going to select the cube first though. Add modifier and go to the word subdivision surface. This is to smooth an object, and you can see what it's done. I'm going to tap up the levels viewport to a 3, and I'll make the renderer a 3 as well. And you can see I have this mattress looking shape. Alright, I'm going to just quickly make another cube, and I'm going to make this the box spring. So I'm going to move this down, and I'm going to scale it the same size. I'm going to go to that top view. You can see it selected here. And I'm going to do something like this. Okay. Okay, next. I'm going to create the bed sheet. So let's go Shift A, and I need something called a plane. I'll move it up in the air. And this plane, I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to come over to edit mode, and I'm going to right click it and subdivide it, subdivide it, subdivide it. That's 3 times. We're going to do 4 times, 5 times, and about 6 times. I'm then going to come back to object mode. I will look at my z-axis because I want to make this bigger. And so it's going to be bigger than the mattress, so it flops over it. I'm also going to send it back a touch as well. Okay. There you go. Alright, so now that I have everything set up, I'm ready to lower the cloth. I'm going to turn this plane into a cloth. And to do that, we're going to go to the modifiers tab here. I'm going to go to add modifier. I'm going to, I apologize. We're going to select the plane. We're just going to go to the physics tab, and I'm going to create something called a cloth. So right here you see cloth. And now the mattress needs to be a collision. And the box spring as well needs to be a collision. When I press play, this should fall and drape. So I'm going to pause when I like it. I can always rewind and try that again. So it will start to slide. So I'm going to pause when I like that. And you can see it looks a little bit, you can see the faces on it. So remember, we can right click. I'm going to do shade auto smooth. By mistake I did that to the box spring. I want to make sure I'm selected on this. Let me play that again. Okay, I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to right-click Shade Auto Smooth. Let me see what Shade Smooth. Oh, Shade Smooth looks a little bit better. Okay. Now that I have this, it's animated, I want to pause I have the animation paused. I don't want it to be animation anymore. I want it to stay like it is. I don't want to have to play this again. So what I'm going to do to make this a permanent mesh and not be animated anymore, I'm going to just right click it, convert to mesh. Okay, so now if I press play or rewind, you can see that it is not playing anymore because I've converted it to a mesh. It is stripped the animation information. Okay, I'm going to do a few more things to this. I'm going to bring it to edit mode because I want it to be more like a comforter. So I want to have it have a little bit more thickness. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over to here, which is the extrude tool. I'm going to hold this down, and we're going to click on extrude along normals. And what that's going to do is have it extrude. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just keep it into object mode. I'm sorry. I'm going to select this sheet, and even easier, we're just going to go to the modifiers tab here. I'm going to go to add modifier, and there's one called solidify, which makes things thicker. So I'm going to click on solidify, and you can see right away it's made it a little bit thicker. The thickness is a 0.01. I can tap that up as much as I want to have as thick of a comforter as I want. So I'm going to keep it at a 0.0, maybe a 0.03. I think this looks fine to me. Okay. Now we have a few more artifacts here, or faces that are touching each other. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another modifier. So right here, and you can always tuck in this one if it's in your way. I'm going to go to add modifier, and we're going to go to that subdivision surface, which is going to help to smooth it more. And there we go. All right. Now what I do, when I'm finished and I know that I like this, we have two modifiers. I'm going to apply them both so that they're permanent. So right now they're kind of like layers. So I'm going to just drop this down next to solidify here and say apply. And I'm going to do the same subdivision. I'm going to apply that as well. So this drop down here and apply. Okay. I will just quickly create some cubes here because I think I can make a bed frame around the headboard like that. And you can take your time with this. I'm going to just Shift D and duplicate this and move it on the Y. And maybe I'll make this a little flatter. There we go. Okay. In the next video, we'll talk about how to make a pillow. Okay. Good luck and give it a try.